Welcome to another episode of Trial Site News. Today we're going to be talking about India, where the government there has now formally launched their own study looking into the rising sudden cardiac arrests. They're looking to see if there is a causal link to the COVID-19 vaccines. We're going to discuss what is happening there. And so from Trial Site News, I am Adrian, and our episode is starting right now. So, media out of India have reported a growing number of sudden cardiac arrests, including incidents of heart attacks. So much so that finally the Apex Research Institute of that country is seeking themselves to understand what is happening. The Indian Council of Medical Research, otherwise known as the ICMR, has launched an investigation. They're examining cases involving sudden cardiac arrest reports across the world's most second populous nation. People have been clamoring for an answer to this growing question. Could these sudden incidences, including deaths, be linked to the COVID-19 or the COVID-19 vaccines? Well, the ICMR investigators aim to find out with the help of some of the nation's top cardiologists and other experts from the All India Institutes of Medical Sciences, otherwise known as AIIMS. By examining cases, this examination will accumulate data and associated conditions of the deceased in a verbal autopsy method of study. Meanwhile, rampant across social media are explanations for surges of sudden cardiac arrests as a byproduct of mass COVID-19 vaccination, especially with the mRNA vaccines, which are known to cause rare side effects such as myocarditis, a cardiovascular-related condition. Which, for those who aren't familiar with myocarditis, it is a disease that causes inflammation of the heart muscle. This inflammation enlarges and weakens the heart, creates scar tissue, and forces it to work harder to circulate blood and oxygen throughout the body. Even the WHO acknowledges this link to myocarditis with a vaccine, but stressed to the world that this is rare and that the benefits of the vaccine outweighs any risk. Here is what they wrote on the subject back in 2021. They said that the benefits of mRNA COVID-19 vaccines outweigh the risks in reducing hospitalizations and deaths due to COVID-19 infections. They go on to mention that there are very rare cases of myocarditis and pericarditis that have been observed following vaccination with the mRNA COVID-19 vaccines. These cases occurred more often in younger men and after the second dose of the vaccine, typically within a few days after vaccination. Current evidence suggests a likely causal association between myocarditis and the mRNA vaccines. They go on to mention that there are more rigorous studies using alternative data sources and more robust study designs, including comparison of vaccinated and unvaccinated populations, as well as investigations monitoring for long-term follow-up are underway. And finally, that vaccinated individuals should be instructed to seek immediate medical attention if they develop symptoms indicative of myocarditis or pericarditis, such as new onset and persisting chest pain, shortness of breath, or palpitations following vaccination. So that's the WHO's take on the matter. Meanwhile, back in India, in an article from the Times of India, you have a health ministry official complaining that there is a lot of disinformation going on about the possible causes behind a rise in cases of sudden cardiac arrest. Many people are also linking it with COVID and vaccines used for it. The purpose of the study will be to investigate the actual cause. The official was, of course, referring to a rising number of videos having surfaced on social media platforms that show people, many of them young, collapsing and dying suddenly while dancing, singing, or just out for a walk. This, of course, not to mention the tragic and infamous recent collapse of Damar Hamlin on national television during this week's Monday Night Football game. He remains in critical condition. Naturally, though, critics of tying these collapses to vaccine theories are suggesting any number of alternative causes as more plausible, such as deferred health visits, worsening diets and stress during the pandemic, or even just other background factors. Now, as of right now, there is no definitive proof on what precisely is causing this sudden uptick, which, in this man's opinion, then makes it of paramount concern that more formal investigations like the one here in India begin. We the people have the right to know what is causing this sudden uptick. And in this way, then, it makes sense that the Indian government is formally investigating here, and we applaud them for it. Now back to the Times of India article. They wrote that suggestions were also made for conducting postmortem in sudden cardiac deaths involving young people with no known history of heart disease or other known risk factors. They said that it will help conclude the cause of death. Also, in cases where death was caused due to an undiagnosed heart condition, then the family can also be asked to undergo screening to rule out the disease as well, as some of the heart diseases are known to run in families. Now, the apex body in India for the formulation, coordination, and promotion of biomedical research, ICMR, represents one of the oldest and largest medical research bodies worldwide, and they will be leading this study. They are a government-funded entity via the Department of Health, Research, Ministry of Health, and Family Welfare. The ICMR maintains 26 national institutes across a range of therapeutic areas and diseases. Now, naturally, we'll be keeping an eye out for updates on this story as it continues to develop, and we'll let you know here what happens. And that, my friends, will bring our episode to a close once more. For more content like this, be sure to check back here at this channel daily, Monday through Friday, and for numerous written articles daily at trialsitenews.com. In the meantime, and as ever always, thank you so much for joining me on the program today. From Trial Site News, I am Adrian, and I will see you all next time.